Alright, so I am here and just kind of wanted to talk about something that's a little more brief because everything keeps ending up being like an hour. So let's try to avoid that this time. And I'm debating if I want to combine two topics into one. I'm not sure because I guess it's kind of in a similar vein, but also not really. They're kind of different ideas. Let me go back. 'Cause I don't know. Is it really, we'll see. Maybe I can find a way to segue it well. But my main thing I wanted to talk about was, I guess, sort of just this idea I've had. Because as I think oh my god. I thought that guy was doing a wheelie. Wow, great start. Great start. But as I was saying, I talked about it before, I'm pretty sure, where I talked about the idea that I wanted to go back to college at some point, which I know is kind of like a weird thing, I guess. Wow, you want to continue your education? What the fuck is wrong with you? You want to go to Hustlers University instead? Come on, man. But I kind of want to go back to college at some point, and I was thinking a lot about it because, number one, part of the reason I went to community college is because it's not super far, and it's pretty decent college, and a lot cheaper. And if I continue with the 4-year degree, because I have a 2-year degree, but if I get a 4-year degree, it's probably going to be very expensive. And on top of that, I'm probably, I might not be so close. So either it's going to be a very difficult commute, or I'm just not going to commute at all and have to stay there, which would be a little interesting for me because I've never really left home. Even when we had those field trips throughout school, I never wanted to go on those field trips where it would be like overnight field trips. I remember we went to see Spider-Man on Broadway once. Or was it Broadway? I think it was Broadway. It was like some Spider-Man, like, was it a musical? I don't know. It was a Spider-Man thing. And then we went to some restaurant that I think was Applebee's, and they gave us like ice cream. That was pretty cool. But we had like a couple of like overnight field trips. There was one where we went to like a camp. There's one where we went to Washington, D.C. But I didn't go to those because I just didn't want to. And yeah, it was something I just didn't want to do. And I guess part of that was I never really liked being away from home that much. Even my family would always go camping. And I used to like it a lot as a kid, but as I grew older, I kind of stopped liking it as much. And I think part of that just has to come down to, I used to be a lot more unwilling to be uncomfortable. And now I'm kind of more willing to be uncomfortable, but still branching out slowly. And so I've been torn on what to do in regards to college, because I feel like I could probably get into a pretty good school with the GPA that I have. So I have like a 3.9 something GPA. I had literally all of my classes were A's, except for one class where I got a B plus, and that made my GPA go below 4, and I was like, fuck. But, oh well. Oh well. But I mean, still, a 3.9 GPA, that's pretty good. You can't really complain about that much, right? But I was thinking about it, and it's hard to know what I want to do, because, like, let's say I guess piggybacking off of that seizing your opportunities video, right? Let's say I get, like, invited to a really good school. I don't know. Let's just say, like, Harvard or something. I'm probably not going to Harvard, and also I don't know how good computer science courses are at Harvard. But let's say I'm going to Harvard, right? And I have a great opportunity. It's probably a pretty fucking good school. It's like an Ivy League school and shit. Like, one of the most well-known schools. But then the question kind of arises for me. Would I want to go there? And not just because, like, oh, well, is the computer science thing great? Or is their computer science degree program great? Is the area great? Whatever. I'm just thinking in terms of, do I want to go there? Because I would have to dorm, and I'd be far away from home, and I'm not sure if I would want to do that. But at the same time, I've kind of had this thing where I've been really thinking that when I do go back to college, maybe I do just genuinely need to dorm, because then I could kind of get more used to being a little uncomfortable and living somewhere else. And additionally, I can get used to meeting new people, which I've heard some things about dorming that have not been great. Like, I've talked to some people about dorming, and they've been like, yeah, you know, there's like one guy in the men's dorm where he would shit on the elevator like every morning or something like that. And it's like, what the fuck? And then you have to, like, fight with people for laundry, because half the time to, like, take your shit out to put their shit in. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. And then I think there's also some shit in, like, the kitchens sometimes, so on and so forth. So it's like probably not the easiest thing in the world to dorm, to be honest. And also it's more expensive too. That's another thing, because you have to pay for that. But it also just kind of made me think, like, maybe this could be a chance to do something new. I don't know. And so I've been kind of off and on about the idea. I don't entirely know what I want to do in that aspect, because it's very difficult to decide what I want to do with that, because it's a very big decision, and if I fuck it up, it's not gonna end well. And I just don't know. I feel like there's a lot that could go wrong in the dorm, but there's also a lot that could go right. It would also be nice just to not be at home for once, you know, because I've been at home for like 25 years. Maybe it would be good to go somewhere else, you know, live somewhere else for a while. So that's really my big problem that I've got. I don't know what to do in that aspect. And that's obviously not even mentioning other things like, how is the area? Because, you know, there's certain schools where it's like, that's a pretty good school, but also it's in a fucking shitty area. Like, I've had people who were in my grade and they went to certain colleges, and they were like, yeah, there's like a shooting outside of our fucking rental area or whatever it was. Like, I think they rented a house or something. They're like, yeah, there was like a shooting outside one day. Like, oh, huh, okay, well, that, I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know about that. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I just need to get some better experience in life instead of living at home. But I also kind of like, part of me always fears about the worst that happens when you leave home. I guess it's sort of that thing when you go on vacation and all you can think about is, oh fuck, did I turn the stove off? Oh my god, did I unplug, whatever? Did I lock the door? That sort of thing. But like, it would be on a whole other scale. It's like, what if I'm out there, right? What if let's say I go to University of California. It's across the country. Literally across the country. And, like we have a dog die. Or my parents get sick. Something like that. What the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I gotta get on a plane to go all the way back. It just kind of feels a little difficult. At least, I guess there is a happy medium with that, right? Because if I stay somewhere that's close, but maybe far away to commute, but maybe it's like 2 or 3 hours or something like that away from where I live, I can drive back and I can drive there, but I still dorm there and I still get the benefits of dorming, but I'm always close to home, so if something happens, I can always get back there. Maybe that's a good idea? I don't know. That seems like probably one of the better options, because that way I get to kind of stay local, but still be on my own more. And, I guess also, while I'm on the topic, because I think maybe this is just going to become a general video about college. I wasn't sure if I wanted to merge those ideas, but I think I might just do a general video about college here, even though I wanted this to be quick. But I don't know, maybe I can cram it all into like 30 minutes. I used to have a college professor, and he used to say, I always try to cram 90 minutes of information into a 75-minute class or something like that. I forget how long it was, but it was something like that. Because he would go on and on and on. He was probably one of my favorite professors. Well, he was probably my favorite professor, honestly. I've seen him a couple times because he actually lives in my town. And I've seen him a couple times. And I saw him, last time I saw him was a couple months ago, like the day before I started working. And I was like, oh my God, it's been a long time. We were talking. I was telling him about the job that I was about to start and that sort of thing. I'm just catching up a little bit, but he's a good guy. It's nice to see him. But he'd always try. Wait, oh my God. Wait. Is that? I think those are. What the hell is happening? I was just talking about the professor, and then I just see people I know play Pokemon Go. That's funny. I almost wanted to say hi to them, but like, I feel like it'd be kind of interesting to just jump out of the car and be like, hey guys, it's out there on like the other side of the street. Whatever. What the fuck? I just completely lost my train of thought. So anyways, back to where I was. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh shit, speaking of Pokemon Go, give me a second actually. I'm gonna turn on my auto catcher again. Okay. Give me a second, we're almost there. Actually, Pokemon Go would be interesting to talk about too, in regards to college. Because let's say I go to college. I feel like most college campuses have pretty good spots to play Pokemon Go. I've heard it from a bunch of people that have gone to different colleges. They're like, yeah, There's a lot of Pokestops, a lot of gyms. That could be pretty fun. But yeah. Back to actually talking about things. I was gonna take this time to also talk about something that I've now realized I kind of forgot. Why does this always happen? This is what happens every time I start one of these. Just, I've got these ideas, and it's just like, oh fuck, I forgot the idea. Let me see if I can retrace my steps a little bit and figure out where the fuck I was. So I was talking about the whole dorming situation, and fuck. Oh nope, I remember now. I remember. We got it. The other thing I was thinking about too was not only, oh, what am I gonna do in regards to the dorming situation, but also what am I gonna do in general, because I'm kind of in a weird spot, because as I mentioned before, I have a computer science degree that I got from my community college, which actually almost got kind of close to doxing myself there. I'm glad I avoided that. I almost just said the name. Then I was like, why am I saying the name? But I got a computer science degree from community college, and I have to think about what I want to do now, because part of me thinks that the obvious choice is to go to some sort of IT school or technology school, because they're probably going to have better computer science courses, because obviously it's more catered towards that thing. You're also going to find a lot of like-minded people there, because, again, I mean, technology, a lot of nerdy people, probably a lot of people that play games, and probably pretty good campuses for Pokemon Go, and a lot of people that are probably in a similar boat to me, I guess, in terms of socialization. There's probably a lot of people there are introverts too, because that's just kind of how nerdy stuff is, usually. But it kind of... I've kind of thought about it, and I'm not sure if I should. Like, I'm probably going to get a better education at a technology school, but at the same time, if I do that, fuck, my bad. Yeah. If I do that, I'm gonna come up with the problem of maybe not getting to meet as many people as I wanted to, because, again, it's like, it's nice that everybody's kind of in the same boat, and there's probably a lot of, like, nerdy, introverted people that makes it kind of easy to get along with. But on the other hand, I feel like you kind of miss something when you're in sort of a bubble like that, or an echo chamber, I guess. Because if I went to just a general college, I probably wouldn't get as good of a computer science education. But I mean, then again, there's probably some colleges that have very good computer science programs and are more general colleges. Because I also want to try and do different things and explore more things. And it feels like it'd be harder to do that at a technology school compared to just a general one. Because if I go to a general one, for example, let's say I go to, general school. We're just going to call it general school. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But I go there, I'm probably going to meet a lot of different people who aren't just a bunch of introverted nerds. It's going to be all sorts of people. which maybe makes it harder to connect with them in some ways, but also makes it better because I'm not in so much of a bubble where it's just this one type of person. I would kind of get a mixed bag of everything, which has its downsides too, but I think is also a good thing because then you get to have more experiences, you know? And that's kind of what I'm after when I'm going back to college too. To me, like, I know the degree is supposed to be the whole thing, right? Like, you're going there because you want to get the degree, because you want to get a good job because of that degree, because it essentially shows you, or essentially shows your employer, like, hey, I am capable of doing this, so therefore I should be hired. But I kind of find that college has become not really about that anymore, which is weird because, I mean, it is supposed to be about the degree, right? But it's more about, oh no, there's another train coming, isn't there? It's gonna cut me off again. But there's kind of this sense of maybe it's not so much about getting the degree as it is about having a train come and ruin your recording. Yeah. But as I was saying, now that it's kind of passed a little bit, I think. Hopefully, I think it's passing. But as I was saying, there's a lot of people here now. It's crazy. But yeah, fuck. Lost my train of thought because of the train. Get it? I lost my train of thought. Get it? That was a funny joke. Oh yeah, but I don't know if it's right for me to go to a general college or not, and I feel like it kind of is. I feel like I should, but like maybe I also shouldn't. Should I be prioritizing the experience of college, or should I be prioritizing the degree? But it's also like I feel like degrees are becoming increasingly meaningless. Because even when you get the fucking degree, like there's so many stories of people where it's like, I got this degree and I'm still working a fucking retail job because I can't get anywhere with this fucking degree. So it's like, if that's the case, then what the fuck do I do? What do I do? How do I not have to deal with that? And I think maybe instead I should be focusing more on life skills, because that was honestly like part of what I was thinking going back to college too, is that, yeah, I am kind of going for the degree, but I feel like what's more important is that I get that experience out of it, which again is why I was thinking about dorming, because I feel like I would get a lot more of that experience and I'd be able to participate in a lot more things on campus. But again, there's a lot of things that I'm not really sure about entirely yet in regards to that. It's kind of just a weird thing to figure out, and it's a big decision as well, because if I make the wrong choice, it's not going to feel good. But if I make the right choice, it is definitely going to feel good. But it's just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I guess I'll figure that out eventually. But the other thing that I wanted to piggyback off of here a little bit too is that I don't know what to do in regards to my entire career path, to be honest with you. Because I've kind of had some second thoughts a little bit. Because number one, I mean, I talked about this in the other video about learning to code isn't the problem. Because in my opinion, I feel like I know generally what to do. It's more so I can never find that motivation to do things on my own. And I can never find the time to really want to program, and I never know what I want to program. It's just constant fucking difficulty in that aspect. Fuck. I burped twice now. It just keeps happening. There's not really much I can do about it. But I don't know if I really want to continue pursuing computer science. But then it's like, if I'm not pursuing computer science, what am I going to do? And the answer is I don't really know, because I don't really have anything else I want to do. That was kind of my thing, and it still kind of is my thing, but it's like, fuck, what do I do if I'm not going to do computer science? But also, am I going to do computer science? I don't know. But there's also a big part of me that kind of thinks it's a terrible idea to not continue pursuing computer science. Not just because, I mean, I do like it. It is something I'm pretty good at. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something I like. But it's also, let's say I switch majors right now, I have to start mostly all over again, which is not great. And so there's kind of this sunken cost fallacy in regards to that, as to should I be switching my major, because I kind of already spent money to get to where I am. Maybe it's not worth it. But then what if I end up not really being as passionate about computer science as I once was? And also the thing is too, one of the big things I feel about coding now is, after working at this job, I'm not saying that my current job is perfect or anything. It's not. But I kind of feel like if I do some sort of coding thing or whatever, right? I become some type of software engineer, whatever. I'm not gonna be able to move around that much. It's gonna be a lot of just sitting, sedentary type of work. And I kind of like when I'm moving around at work, because it just kind of feels good. It feels like you're actually doing work. As weird as that is to say, you know, it's just like you feel like you're doing something. And when you're sitting for 8 hours or whatever, it just doesn't feel good. That's kind of my problem that I've got when it comes to... That's my problem I have when it comes to what I want to do in regards to computer science. Because I feel like I shouldn't be constantly just sitting or whatever and staring at screens all day. But I think it's also more of a future-proof thing as well, right? Because I probably can become something in the general area of computer science pretty easily. Whereas, I don't know, let's say like, we could just use like art as an example, right? Because a lot of companies now are just turning to fucking AI art, which, again, is fucked up. But it's like, would I have a job if I went towards that? Because there's a chance, like, you're just not gonna have a job because AI is just gonna fuck it up. But maybe it's not worth thinking like that. I'm not sure. But I think in terms of computer science, it's a much safer bet. And it's not like I'm going into it and I hate it. I enjoy it. But would it be that good of a fit for me? I don't know. That's ultimately where I come back to again and again. Can't figure out what I want to do with that overall. But I kind of still am leaning towards computer science. Also, like, I'm 25. If I restart my degree, I'll be like 29 or maybe 28 by the time I get the degree. I don't know. Doesn't seem great. I kind of feel like it. I feel like more than anything, I just want to go to college for 2 years and get that experience and try to participate in things. Like, I was thinking about clubs, and I was like, I should really join some clubs probably if I do end up going back. So I think it's kind of important. And I neglected it when I went to college, which I'm going to talk about in another video, I think, about why I feel like I failed in a lot of ways. And this time I want to try to make the most of it. Try to join clubs, try to do more things, go to those job fairs. Because before I was basically just kind of doing mostly the bare minimum. And I feel like this time if I went back, I would really try to make the most of that time instead of just doing my work and getting a good GPA and leaving it at that. That's ultimately what I want to fix. But I don't know if I'll be able to fix it so easily. Who knows? As I was saying, overall, I just have a lot of things to think about in regards to college. And I guess I should probably start thinking about them soon if I'm going back, like, next year. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, for sure. But I also think it's something I kind of need, because I really need to just... Back to what I was saying with that professor before. That professor, he helped me a lot. He gave me some ideas for where to go for college. And he gave me some ideas that are a little further. Not just like an hour or two away. He's like a couple states away. And he told me, if you think it's time to leave the nest, then maybe one of these options is good for you. And wasn't sure, because it's like back then, I mean, I wasn't even driving. I wasn't doing a lot of other things. But now I'm kind of more willing to potentially explore that option. And I do... Before, it was like I felt like if I left the nest, I was just gonna fall. I wasn't gonna be able to fucking fly. But now I kind of feel like even if maybe I can't fly, I feel like I could. That's sort of my mentality now. Whereas before it was just I can't. And now it's like I could. I mean, maybe I can't. Who knows? But I could. I definitely feel like I could. And, I felt that way about things before. Like, one of my coworkers when the first day I started slicing at the deli. He said, you know, if you want to try slicing, you want to try doing some slicing, you could do it. And I thought about it, and I was wondering, like, can I? Am I gonna be able to? I don't know. And kind of realized I think I could. I've watched my coworkers do it for a couple days. I think I could. And you know what? I've done it pretty okay. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest slicer in the world or anything. I got a lot to learn still. And there's a lot of little nuances you never realize when you go to a deli. Especially because, I mean, to be fair, like, for me, mostly, there's like a couple things that I actually care about in a deli, which is like yellow American cheese, mozzarella cheese, and, well, actually, that's kind of it for me. I know my mom, she likes to get, like, turkey, and, yeah, I mean, that's basically it. But, for me, for me, I just never realized how many meats and things there are in the deli. And that was something to learn. That was something very interesting to learn. But it has been pretty enlightening. But kind of to piggyback off that, I feel like before I had these massive changes in my life, I would have been like, I don't know if I can slice. I don't know if I should do that. And there are still some times where I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I have a friend, and he wants me to come to his, like, Friendsgiving thing. But it's like, he wants me to drive, like, 32 miles or something. And I was like, I don't know about that. I didn't tell him flat out no, but, like, afterwards I was like, that's probably not happening. That's probably not fucking happening. There's no way I am driving 32 miles. Like, I've been on the highway once since I started driving consistently now. I've been on the highway once. That is a big no-go for me, probably. But that's kind of a fringe example, sort of, you know? It's not me saying, oh, I can't drive down the block or something. Because I know I can do that. But it's more, I'm not gonna do that. Because fuck, that's far, come on. That's far, and I've only been driving for like 4 months consistently. Hell no, I'm not fucking driving 32 miles. I've driven like, maybe like a quarter of that. But, yeah, not happening. Not happening. You're watching this, it's not happening. It's not happening. But, anyways, this has gone on for longer than I thought it was going to. At least I got some recordings done today, though, right? Maybe I try to do one more before I leave. One more actually quick one. We'll see. I was fighting a rocket grunt while I was talking at the end here, too, because Shadow Snorlax. Give me my Shadow Snorlax, you bitch. I always call the Google Maps lady bitch. I did it in that jury duty video. Cause I don't know, man. That bitch is high. There's something up with her. She, the way she navigates is fucking delusional. She's delusional. I don't know what else to say. She's delusional. But yeah. With that said, I am going to finish capturing the Snorlax, please. Thank you very much. Please. Can I capture the Snorlax? Thank you. I actually had one of these run away like years ago. And I was sad. Oh, it's a middle finger. It's just a giant middle finger. Thanks. Thanks, game. That's cool. But yeah, I am going to maybe try and record one more thing before I leave. And, yeah, I guess that's it.